welcome back. I thought I'd give you a quick update on our tree project from Mother's Day weekend. So we are exactly 4 weeks out since we finished up that project, 4 weeks and 2 days to be exact, and wanted to just show you where we're at with the progress on the trees. The great thing is all of the trees have taken root and have already started to show awesome signs of growth. So we're very fortunate. We didn't lose a single tree out of the gate there. So had a good start. And so today we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to do a little bit of tree maintenance. We're going to water first, and then we're going to go back and add just a little bit more soil around the base of some of the trees. So since we finished our project, again, Mother's Day weekend, so 4 weeks ago, we had two different weather-related events. The first thing is about 10 days out, we had just over 4 inches of rain within 24 hours, which was awesome. It was just a great start for the trees, great moisture for them. But what that does sometimes is it causes the soil around the tree that we've disrupted to settle and drop. So I'll show you an example of that in a minute, and what we're going to do to fix that problem. The other thing we had was we had some fairly high wind events. Like you hear me say all the time, it's always windy, but we had an event where we had 50-mile-an-hour winds, and so what that did is it actually lifted some of the tree tubes just a little bit. So what'll happen is you'll get a tree tube, something like this. The wind will come along and it'll just sort of pull it up from the bottom there. And so what I did is I went back around probably a week or 10 days ago, and I just pushed all the tree tubes back down and got them in place and tightened them up if I needed to, and we were good to go. But I wanted to just give you a quick visual. You can see even just from the sunlight shooting into the tree tubes, we've got green all the way down the line, and that's everywhere. So some trees obviously a little bit bigger and faster growers than others. Again, this is an alternating line of red oak and hackberry trees, and so you've heard me say in a previous video, the reason we like these trees is very easy to start, very easy to grow. You know, some of them are halfway up the tree tube already, which is phenomenal, showing really great growth. So they've all taken, no issues, survived a high wind event, and now we're going to go back, like I said, do a little bit of tree maintenance, put down some water, try to do a little bit of supplemental watering in between rains, water them at least every 5 days or so. But this is kind of what I'm talking about here. It's probably hard to see, but you've got a good 3.5 inches of drop there where the soil has settled in. And so we're going to go back and add just a little bit of soil. Conventional wisdom would say, well, let's just fill it up here to the top and get it good and covered. But if you do that, you're going to cover up the root collar, which is essentially about right here, which is where the root system and the trunk meet. If you cover that up, if you were to bring the soil all the way up to here, you'd likely kill the tree. If you would even bring it up to here, you'd likely kill the tree. So we just want to get it right up to that root collar about here. So we got to add about an inch and a half of soil, and then we'll go back and kind of check every tree as we go. I don't know that every tree is going to need that. Just depends on sort of where the tree's located, how much the moisture got in and how much it caused it to settle. But we're going to go back and get that taken care of today, just to ensure that we have that soil at the proper level. So that's what we're doing. Again, quick update, really excited, have a great start for these trees, especially 4 weeks out. And we'll be tackling this, shouldn't take too long, maybe an hour, get pretty quick. Again, pretty quick when you have a driver, just walk along and dump the water, then we'll come back around the second time and get the soil put down. So stay tuned for that, and we'll set the time lapse up, and we'll see you soon. Okay, so we are finishing up our watering and our replacing of some soil on this new tree line. And one of the things I wanted to stop and highlight is that sometimes, for whatever reason, whether it's placement of the tree tube or water hitting it or wind, who knows, sometimes the new growth will actually cause the branches to grow down. If they get bent, they're still malleable, and so that new growth is actually going down towards the ground. And so we're gonna go ahead and straighten those up, kind of get them pushed back up vertically in the tree tube itself, tuck them in, and you can see it's not broken because it's still very malleable, and it's not in danger of you know, losing the tree or anything. It's still very healthy, lots of great growth, big leaves, actually one of the most prolific in the line. But for whatever reason, that growth just started going towards the ground because they got turned around. So pay attention to that when the trees are still young and new, because if, let's say, we did a kind of a set it and forget it on this tree, we'd have come back a few weeks later and been like, whoops, I guess we have to replace this one. So pay attention to that. Make sure that you're checking that for that growth. Make sure it's going vertically towards the sky. And it's okay to take the tree limbs and the leaves and push them up and get them where they need to go. Okay, so we have finished watering and checking the soil levels on our tree line. Didn't take that long. Watering, we probably did in about 20 minutes. Checking the soil levels took a little bit longer, closer to an hour, just because you gotta loosen some of the tree ties, tube ties, and lift it up. But you saw there, one of the tips of the trade that I mentioned in another video is having reusable ties that you can just loosen as needed, so you're not having to cut those ties off. So you saw we were able to just loosen those, pop the tree tube up, add the soil, drop the tree tube back down, tighten everything back up. So anyway, some good work in today. Got some supplemental watering in. We try to water every 5 days or so when the trees are young, at least for the first year into the second year. It's kind of interesting, you know, we'll water today and then we'll get rain, even when it's not supposed to rain. But then we always find out, like, oh, maybe we'll try to get by a few extra days and then it doesn't rain. So we just try to do it like clockwork every 5 days to keep everything healthy and green. But it's just really important to pay close attention to newly planted trees. As you saw, we highlighted an issue there where sometimes the new growth, for whatever reason, will get turned around and it'll start going towards the ground and not towards the sky. And now is a good time to pay attention to that and look at that, because you can actually just readjust it and get it going where it needs to go, because it's still malleable. So happy with that. We have about 70 trees in that line, alternating red oaks and hackberries, and we haven't lost a single tree, and we're a month and 2 days into it. So really happy with that. Really happy with how the spacing turned out, the aesthetics of it. Again, a project like that, many months in the planning before we actually go out and execute and plant. And then you've got the continuous tree maintenance, or aftercare, I call it. Yeah, we're just really happy with how it turned out, really excited about it. And as always, really appreciate you taking the time to watch today. Get excited about conservation, get involved in conservation. That's the purpose of this channel, is to promote conservation and get your friends and family involved in conservation. Like, share, etc., etc. And we will see you next time.